Today on The Flush, a premier location for premier wild quail hunting in, guess where? Historic Premier Ranch in Texas Hill Country. Ron Schara here. Come along as we find bobwhites in the bush, great dog work in the field,
Whoa, biscuit, whoa,
and a few bass in a pond. All that and more coming up on this edition of The Flush.
The Flush, presented by Federal Premium Ammunition and Pheasants Forever.
When it's quail hunting time in Texas, what do you expect?
live quail on the ground, a whole bunch of them. Somebody come out at once, you didn't know where to shoot.
For sure, partner. To paraphrase an old country song, if a quail hunter can't go to heaven, send him hunting in Texas. This heavenly hunt started at Premier Ranch in west central Texas, where I was joined by Jeff Sizemore with Franke shotguns and a die-hard bird hunter by the name of Joe Hosmer.
Quail forever, pheasants forever on the national board.
And the dog's name?
What's your dog's name?
Biscuit.
Where'd the name Biscuit come from?
My son.
Biscuit's buddy is John Hubble, our Premier Ranch guide and host.
Well, I'm responsible for all of the wing shooting out here at Premier Ranch. I get a lot of satisfaction out of guiding myself, but we also have other guides that we'll pull in for our clients. So.
Quail season runs for nearly 4 months. Like I said, everything is big in Texas.
Well, get ready, guys.
Whoa, Biscuit, whoa, whoa.
Ron, they're flying away from you.
They know better.
Yeah, that was a joke. Shooting eyes get rusty, you know.
There it is.
I don't know why I'm shooting into the sun every day.
Is that your excuse? Shooting into the sun? That's a good excuse.
There it is.
That should have been a dead quail right there.
He's locked pretty hard. There it is.
Oh my God.
There you go, Ron. Good shot.
Those cockers. I don't think any hunting dog looks as enthusiastic when they're in the field. I mean, the tail is going like that, and almost like they should have a smile on their face, and they do, I think.
Good job. That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
Speaking of smiles, it's easy to do after landing in the city of Austin, the state's capital. Looking around, you discover Austin is a comfortable mix of big city chick and ranch hand country. It's mid-December now, just before Christmas. The chance of a white Christmas is slim in these parts. hey, y'all, Santa Claus ain't gonna forget Texas. Up next, more searching the quail haunts on Premier Ranch in west central Hill Country, Texas.
Yeah. Thank you. Whoa! Amos, you're getting away. Get it, Amos. Go!
The Flush, brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts. Benelli. Polaris. Waltons. And by North Dakota Tourism.
In search of quail on the Premier Ranch is a tall order. Not for lack of birds, there are just so many thorny places for them to hide.
Look at him shake, I'm so excited. Reach in there to fetch a dead quail. Oh, you'd feel worse than the quail. Oh, a lot of unfriendly plants down here in Texas.
Soon, a point. Time to meet Amos, a male English cocker.
Amos is a working English cocker. Amos is 18 months old. This is his second season. He's tenacious. A lot of stamina. Go, go, go all day long.
This is Belle, an 18-month-old female English cocker.
She loves the game. Can't keep her out of it. Flush and retrieve. Pheasant, quail, dove, pigeons, ducks. The thing I like about this breed is the size. They're compact, they're quick, aggressive, very birdy.
Tough dogs they are. They had to be.
Good girl.
All right, let's rust out some more of them.
They're gonna probably be here somewhere, so y'all just be at the ready.
Yeah, he's still going.
You get it, Ron?
I think so. Yeah, I got him. Not too hard, he's gonna be tender eating. She's got him.
This is not the thick stuff.
Oh, it isn't? I want to go to the thick.
I'll show you the thick stuff later, and you're gonna go, I see why the quail survive in there.
Our hunting game plan seemed to be working.
All right, Biscuit, cut them up.
Biscuit, the Griffon, did the pointing, and the two cockers did the flushing. All three dogs like to retrieve.
Boy!
Meanwhile, Joe's shooting eye was getting sharp.
Here's one.
Good shooting there, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
Huh? What were you doing yesterday that was so different?
It's a different gun.
Oh, okay. So you're blaming the gun and the
Yeah,
sun.
I'm blaming the gun.
Clearly, there's no shortage of birds.
This year's or last year's bird?
That is
Last year's.
Yeah, that's an old bird.
That's last year's bird.
John keeps an eye on his coveys and their survival.
Yeah, we do in the spring when they start mating. We'll do spring counts, which you can call early morning. The covey call, and you start hearing. You can pretty much start to get a number developed based on what you're seeing in covey counts.
What do you think your population is out here?
We're this year at about 1.5 birds per acre.
Is that good?
That is one bird per acre is kind of what you shoot for. Anything over that is great, obviously.
Hey, push creepers, I missed that damn thing. I should have had that one, man, alive. This quail hunting, You never know which way they're gonna flush, so you end up going, you about drill yourself right into the ground.
Or go nuts.
That's a good boy. Yeah. Thank you. Whoa, Amos, you're getting away. Get it, get it. Go.
You can tell this is Texas quail hunting. Them quail is a-fixin' to drive you all one bubble off plumb. Stay with us. There's more than quail hanging out at Premier Ranch. Ooh, fish on.
The Flush, brought to you by Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism. Birchwood Casey. Carlson Choke Tubes. And by Rough Tough Kennels.
Premier Ranch is more than a place for hot quail hunting. Lots of big whitetails roam the thickets. And the ranch is home to a herd of registered Angus cattle. Steve and his wife Margaret bought the ranch a few years ago.
We do guided hunts. And we have a lodge that we put everybody up in. It's a full guided hunt with meals and everything. And we've had really hunters from everywhere come in.
Visiting hunters also discover something else, a lesson in American history.
This ranch is a very historic ranch. This part of the state was a German land grant. A guy named Frederick Moisey-Bach was kind of the front guy that came in here, and he negotiated treaties with the Indians. And so the family that settled this ranch was immigrants from Germany.
Sometime between 1850 to 1860.
When they got here, there's a little rock house at the front of the ranch that they built, and the boys and the dad lived there while they built the barns and they built the house all out of rock quarried off of this ranch. The Kothmans. It was Heinrich Friedrich Kothman was the dad, and then he had several sons. That was late 1860s is when they came onto this ranch. In the 1860s, this was still pretty wild country, and as you can see, there's still gun slits cut in the house up there.
It's fair to say the original family still has a connection to the ranch.
You will see Heinrich Friedrich's gravestone in there. On each side of him, one is his first wife who died, and he remarried, and his second wife, Heinrich Friedrich, died in 1908. I think his second wife died just a few years later. And that's still a Kothman cemetery, so they can be, family wants to be buried there, they can be buried there. So.
Since the afternoon was still too warm to pester quail, I had another idea.
Behind the lodge here, there's a pond with, I'm told, some nice bass in it. So I'm desperate to go fishing. When you're desperate to go fishing, this is the only thing I could find. It's a zip code, kind of a 202. It might be a one step up from that, but hey, it works. And if it works, if the bass works, it'll be a good day. Ooh, gee. You got me one already. First cast. got off. First cast, Texas bass, and the bass won. Got me in the weeds. Good bass. Oh, I'll get him in through these weeds. Be a nice little 2-pounder. Oh, Texas bass on the old topwater torpedo. Boy.
Okay, the big bass seemed to have tight lips. When John, my guide, suggested a tour of quail habitat, I accepted. John explained, cactus is bad for quail, fire is good.
What we did back in the spring is we had a helicopter come through and spray all of this to kill it out. So as you'll see, some of this is beginning to die. So that's the first step. And what we're going to do in March, once this is all died off, it gives us a fuel load to run a fire through here to clean it out, which is, as I'm sure you know, nature's way of regenerating the earth. Most of our quail management is revolved around habitat. You know, if you have good habitat, you're putting your best foot forward. The rest is left up to Mother Nature with rain, and good rains in the spring really helps out a lot. But we do try to also influence the quail.
I think John knew when a cool sunrise dawned the next day, I also was ready to influence a few quail with my Franke 20 gauge.
We got a point up here.
When we return, one final big-time foray for wild bobwhites. Yes, big time. This is Texas, partner.
No bird, no bird.
Great hunting stories begin with great habitat. Join Pheasants Forever today to help us create more upland habitat for the birds. Sign up at this special web address below and you'll receive a 1-year subscription to Pheasants Forever Journal, plus this Pheasants Forever edition Browning double blade knife with the collector's tin. Sign up today to help us create healthy habitat and abundant wildlife.
It might be a new day in Texas quail country, but the DNA of bird hunters, their heart and soul, is a match, flowing like the sap of a live oak tree.
But they've been just such an icon of game birds for, especially here in the South.
That's your native game bird.
Yeah, they're a fine eating bird, and they also carry with them a great tradition.
We got a point up here. Yeah, I like to say this is like waiting for dynamite to go off.
No bird, no bird.
No bird, no bird. The quail hunter learns to be humble.
When we miss big. Everything's big in Texas, and it's true for that too. There's one.
Damn it. Damn it! Why can't it go that way?
But sometimes you aim right.
Oh, there's a whole covey. There you go, Ron. Whoa! Good shot, Ron.
Thank you.
Good shot, Ron.
They're so small, you wonder how they survive anything.
And you wonder if, in this 21st century, in the company of hot dogs and hunting partners, if quail will always flush in quail country. Joe Hosmer is optimistic.
In 2014, we had 2 active Quail Forever chapters. Now, in 2016, we have 9 Quail Forever chapters and 1 Pheasant Forever chapter. And so, as you can see, we're growing, and we're making a big difference here.
And Premier Ranch is trying to do its part too.
Our goal here is to provide, obviously, quail hunting, which is something that I love myself, but to really grow the sport more than anything. I think our rates are extremely reasonable, especially when you figure some of the other places. I do figure a lot of what I'll call the meat and potato quail hunters have been priced out of the sport, and that doesn't sit too well with me. I'm a big lover of tradition. To me, in my mind's eye, there's nothing better than following a pointing dog, watching the dog go on point, getting in there, the excitement of, the covey rise, just the anticipation, and then you're never ready for that flush. You got a tradition of gentlemen long before me, and double barrel shotguns over and under, side by sides, fine shotguns. It's nostalgia. It really is.
So there you have it. In Texas and beyond, the DNA of a quail hunter defined.